Hey everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to RNG abuse ShadowLocked Pokemon in Pokemon Colosseum. So, for those who aren't aware, there are two different types of Shadow Pokemon in effect in Pokemon Colosseum. There's just your normal standard encounters, and then there's a few specific Pokemon who are generated in a slightly peculiar way based on the natures of their party members. And there's probably only like 4 Pokemon in the game like this, maybe 5. And so all of them use the same method, so I'll be showing that here. So out of game, you're going to need a few different programs. You're going to need XDCeed by Jinzaru, and you're going to need Pokefinder by Admiral Fish. Now, XDCeed is in Japanese, but I will post some translations in the description as well. And you can also watch my RNG Basics video on how to get a basic understanding of how to utilize XDCeed for Colosseum. Also, you'll need a Flowtimer by, I think, Flow. So, with all of that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing we're going to have to do before anything else is find our initial seed. So, click Gen 3 Tools and click GameCube Seed Finder, click Colo, and boot your game up. Alright, so with Colosseum booted up, just go to Battle Now and Ultimate Difficulty to start the seed finding process. And find your initial seed as documented in my video titled Colosseum Basics. So we got Thomas and Metagross. Thomas and Blaziken. Luckily, seed finding is now very, very simplified. So even if you haven't seen that video, it should be pretty easy to understand what I'm doing. Okay. But basically, I'm just recording the team members that are, and their first party members that are given to me in Ultimate Battle here. Wes Raikou. Seth Blaziken. Alright, so copy your seed to the clipboard. And now we can take a jump into Pokefinder. So in Pokefinder, you're going to click GameCube. And in GameCube, oh, let me actually reset that. Hold on. Let's reset that. I had something else going on there for testing purposes. So in GameCube RNG, you can paste your initial seed here. And if you're going to be going for a shiny, you check shiny only. On top of that, in the generator tab, you're going to drop down and you're going to click the Colo tab. And you're going to click whichever ShadowLocked Pokemon you're aiming for. I am going to be using Heracross. And make sure you have the correct profile selected. If you don't, if you want it shiny, you need to know your trainer ID and your secret ID. And hit generate. Oh, might have to increase the frame range in case there's no shinies. So there we go. As you can see, I have a jolly shiny at frame 968,281. Now, of course, you can use this for not shinies if you don't want. If you just want perfect shinies, you can search along here to see if you can find a perfect spread that isn't shiny. So let's see if I have anything like that. So I don't have anything like that. And there are other better ways to test that, but I will cover that more in my standard shiny video, or my standard video in general. So anyway, as you can see here, these are all of the spreads that I've got available. Now the thing about shiny locks is they make it very easy to hit a shiny. So as you can see, it's basically every other frame is my shiny frame. You could advance to any of these frames that you feel like. I'm just going to aim for the first one, the earliest one possible. So what we're going to do is copy our seed into XDCeed, and we're going to drop it down and paste it into here as like a preempt thing. Copy your frame and put it into here. Now I have to advance 968,000 frames, so what I like to do in the lower frame range section here is set that to 900,000 frames, because I know I'm going to be advancing most of the way there. Now, so to figure out how long we're going to have to do our double battle advancements, it's very simple. Just copy the number that you have frame advancements to do and paste it into a calculator. Now, I like to undershoot my target every time, and I like to go about 20,000 under. because refinding your current seed will probably consume close to 10,000 frames. So I'll subtract 20,000 from this. So this is how many frames we have to advance. So in order to figure out how long we have to wait for this, we're going to divide it by the number of seconds we're going to be spending in a battle. Now I'm going to be using a single battle for this, so we'll spend, it'll advance 2,180 per second in the battle. So I divide it by that number, and this is how many seconds I have to wait in the battle. So it's about 5 minutes. Open up Flowtimer. I like to set Flowtimer to 6 beeps, but that's just a personal preference. Then the only other thing you need to change is the offset. And for the offset, what you do is you take the first 6 digits from the calculator and put it in there. So I will put 434991, and that's how long I have to wait. Pretty self-explanatory. So with all that said, we're ready to get underway insofar as doing our frame advancements, the inconsistent advances. So you're going to start the battle and just start the timer the second you hit yes. Oops. And now we just wait 5 minutes, but I will spare you the 5-minute wait, so I will cut back to that when the time is up. Alright, at this point my timer is about to end. So when it final beep happens, just hit the give in option, and we're going to get ready to find our new current seed in XDSeed. So again, it's this tab right here, and we're going to click exit battle, and we're just going to go right back into singles ultimate. So we got Wes and Suicune. We got Thomas and Heracross. Luckily, we're getting pretty close already. I'm always very nervous about overshooting my target, so that's why Wes Meganium. So that's why I undershot by 20,000. Seems we have 2 more options, which I think are neither of these above. Or we have Thomas, Meganium. All right, good. So it looks like this is probably our new current seed. And I like to do 1 or 2 more. Just to confirm that the seed isn't like some kind of false positive or something like that. And with this, we now need to figure out how many more advancements we have to do to get to our target. Luckily, this is a simple thing to figure out. So what we can do is paste our new current seeds, or copy it rather, I'm sorry about that, and then go into Pokefinder again and paste the seed into the seed box. You can hit search to see how many frames away you are. So luckily, I'm still fairly under. I'm 18,119 away. However, this is still too far to do the small advances. So if like I pasted this in here, right, and I wanted to do 20,000 advancements, it wouldn't work very well. So what you can actually do is, if you notice this column here, basically what this means is the amount of frames potentially advanced by going in and out of the menu. So luckily, probably with a few, maybe 10, maybe less, more menu advancements, I can keep my current frame track of it, and I can do the advancements. So that was Wes Blaziken, and that was Thomas Suicune. So as you can see, I have a new seed, and I have a new frame advancement. I just have to do a few more of these, and you can constantly check your progress by going back to Pokefinder if you want. If you're like, you know, like I said, like me, I'm pretty paranoid in regards to this kind of stuff. I don't want to over advance. This is a funny looking seed, but luckily you can just paste it into here to see how far away you potentially are now. So as you can see, I'm 14,000 away now, so I probably only have to do 2 or 3 more of these, which is really nice. Wes Meganium, just a very handy way to keep track of it. Thomas Swampert. Again, if you can't read Japanese and you don't know these Japanese Pokemon names kind of by heart, what I recommend doing is looking at my translation picture where I have it all laid out for you. Alright, so I have to do a few more. Seth Swampert. I could probably stand to do one more. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Wes Swampert. Wes Swampert. So this seed is probably going to be like 8,000. Yeah. All right. So at this point, all you have to do is take your current seed, post it into this box, type the amount of frame advancements you need to do. So for me, I need to do, where is it? It's 8,755 advances. So I'll copy that, put it here. This is the steps I'm willing to take. Just keep all of them checked. This is the number of actions I'm willing to do. That's fine. And this is the remainder. And again, this is all fine. I would leave everything at default. And hit search. So already I found one that I'm interested in. It's this one with a remainder of 20. I like this one because a remainder of 20 is very easily stoppable, or like consumable, right? So this sequence is gonna, and it's gonna be singles ultimate 4 times. This sequence is gonna advance me to 8,735. And then all I have to do is advance 20 afterwards. So my next step is singles and easy, then it's singles hard. And again, it's all in Japanese, but again, I've got it all translated for you. Then after singles hard, it's singles easy again. And in this instance, it doesn't look like I had to do any doubles advancements. Now I just consume my final 20 frames by going into the rumble setting and changing it so it was off. I turned it to on and it saves. Now I've done all my frame advancements, and now all I have to do is get into the battle. So I'm going to leave all of this uncut, but I'm not going to talk over the rest of it, I don't think. Because it's just me finding and catching the shiny Heracross. A few things to keep in mind. Certain trainers have an animation that will consume a specific amount of frames. The standard Pokeball animation that this guy has right here, the Heracross guy, it's no, so this animation consumes nothing. But the one for bosses that swirls around consumes frames, but I don't think any bosses have a ShadowLocked Pokemon, which is fine. Also, keep in mind, if you fail the catch, so right now, I'm not going to fail it, but if my whole team got wiped here, I actually could just go back and re-encounter him, because the second the battle starts, the shiny is locked in if it's shiny or not. So, as long as you don't save after getting it wrong, you're fine to just keep retrying the battle over and over again to see if you're successful or not. And at this point, at this late in the game, you shouldn't have an issue with it, but I think it's worth keeping in mind. On top of that, if you notice for the ShadowLocked Pokemon, there's not too many of them that are important. In fact, I've got a handy little chart that I could check on Discord very quickly that can talk about which Pokemon are easy to RNG / acceptable to RNG. Like that they're in noiseless areas, made by the wonderful Papa Jefe. So the only ShadowLocked Pokemon that I would say are viable to aim for, actually 3 of them, at least 3 of them are viable. Gligar, Heracross, and Ursaring are all totally doable. I'm doing Heracross right now, and Gligar's in a noiseless area, and Ursaring is in a very low noise area, which the ShadowLock makes easy to do. So there's my Heracross, by the way. It won't pop out shiny, so don't worry about that. I would say that the Makuhita is basically impossible, but that's just me saying that. It's a very high noise area. And the Murkrow, I actually don't remember off the top of my head where Murkrow is located, so that might be potentially possible. But those are the only ShadowLocks you even have to worry about. And here I thought I wouldn't be able to talk about the whole time. So anyway, I'm going to check my Master Ball here. Remember, if you have the Master Ball, there's a very handy Master Ball glitch. You throw the item with your first Pokemon, and then switch its item place with your second Pokemon, and that way the Master Ball will never be consumed. You can do it with any Pokeball if you want, but I just did it with the Master Ball because it is very easy to have infinite Master Ball catches. Because I'm not a person who's very picky about which Pokemon they're in, which Pokeball you're in. So at this point, to confirm that you hit the proper Pokemon, you're just going to want to look at it in the menu and check out its stats and such. So as you can see, I love it in the menu. It's a different, and Heracross has a wild shiny in this one. We'll send it out just for those sparks in this video, but otherwise, that's pretty much it, and I hope it was helpful to all of you. It's interesting that call is before the switch out. I didn't even realize that. And there you go. Shiny, ShadowLocked Pokemon. I hope this tutorial was helpful for all of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I just want to give a big shout out to all of my channel members and anyone who donated on my streams recently. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support very much. And a special shout out to the 2 Bliss God tier members, Chroma and Super Saiyan. You guys get an even extra special thank you.